I am model coach Brickell, French of That's Brickell, and welcome to Slightly Offended Fridays. Slightly Offended Fridays, just to kind of let you know, is like that friend that will kind of dig in you with love. You be having your feelings hurt, but it's that good feeling because you know that they always got your back and won't have you out here looking crazy. Okay, so that's what Slightly Offended Fridays is all about. And each and every week, we're going to bring different special guests. And today we have an amazing special guest, April, which I'm going to do a real formal introduction in a moment. But I'm really excited. Welcome in the room, everybody. Welcome in the room. So this is going to happen each and every Friday. So be sure to mark your calendar on Friday evenings to tune into Slightly Offended Fridays, okay? So actually, now to introduce our special guest, April of Kingdom Power Living. She is your favorite Kingdom Wellness coach. And she actually helps you lose weight and love your body, okay? She has been seen on NBC, Fox, ABC, just to name a few. I can't give you all the goods, but this is Miss April. So welcome to the stage. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so happy to be here with the Models Coach.
Yes, it's
Woo-hoo!
awesome. So I'm glad to have you here. So our topic of conversation this week, because we're going to switch up conversations each and every week. So this week is on wellness as a model and lower body and ankle strengthening. So can't have people out here looking crazy. So we got to talk about it. Okay, we got to talk about it.
Yes.
So actually, before we dive into questions and things, I definitely want to share a quick story. So one of the situations where I was a judge at a casting, I don't know who she was. She showed up with too big of a shoe and socks, white white socks. The shoe at least had about a 3/4 inch space from her foot to the back of the shoe. Me as a model coach, I wanted to hop all over her and say, "Girl, you don't go into the mall and buy you some shoes that fit and then return them." But I said, no, it is not coaching time, it is judging time. But don't show up
Choose words.
if you don't have your proper stuff. Because you're just looking crazy. I don't want to have you looking crazy. I don't want to have y'all looking crazy out in these streets. So don't ever do that again. Okay? If you've thought about it, don't do it. Don't even, maybe I should have a sock. Is it a booty? Because if it's heels, don't do it. Unless it's like those little lace cutie ones, but not for casting. Okay? All right. So I'm off my little soapbox. But a lot of models, they come to me saying, "Oh, I'm not really sure what shoe to wear," and like they're just lost and confused. Clearly, my question for you: what kind of damage could you really do to yourself by wearing the wrong shoe?
So, first and foremost, I would say that you will do damage by not having the proper anything. Shoe is like one of the things, right? So there's damage that you can do to your
Mm,
body, but there's also, as you just mentioned, damage that you can do to your reputation.
yeah. Ooh.
So let's talk, let's talk about the body. So obviously, if you wear shoes that are too big for you, this is not even, I mean, it is health wise, but it's like you run the risk of like getting blisters, right? Because if the shoe is not proper, your feet are gonna like flap
Hmm.
up and down, or it could cause the shoe to rub on the back, and that could cause blisters, which could cause an infection and all of those things, right? So we don't want that.
Hmm.
The other thing, but if the shoe is also too small, your feet will be cramped in it, and then that, yeah, that's not gonna help either,
Right.
right? Because your joints, your muscles, like all of those things need the flex, they need to do like all of these things, and so that could also cause damage as well. And I'll say this, I am not a podiatrist, which that is one of the things that I do recommend. Whenever you have a career in
Mm-hmm.
anything and you're preparing, you should have the proper, I'm going to call them, like one of my coaches, just your A team, right? A coach like Brickell, right? To say that these are the proper things that you should have. You should have like a proper podiatrist on your team, because if you're wearing, a lot of models do, depending upon what kind of modeling you're doing, obviously you're wearing higher heels, which means
Yep.
that you are going to have a higher arch. And so do you have the proper arch support? All of these things, your key, like there's a number of
Mm-hmm.
things that can go into it. And so really having the investing in the proper team to make sure that you are where you need to be in order to pursue the career that you want
Right.
is going to be the major thing. But wearing shoes that are too big and wearing shoes that are too small are going to affect you in different ways, even if it isn't immediate.
Mm-hmm.
Some
That's
of it
good.
could be immediate effects, but some of it is going to be longer term effects. And if we don't take care of our body right now, the longer term effects will catch up with
Mm.
that, catch up with us.
That's a whole word. I'm like, where's my ink pen? Let me go ahead and get my notes, because I hope these people are over here really absorbing all this, because you mentioned a couple of things, even investing in yourself, your health, to make sure that you can pursue the right way, and that you're not over here dragging your body and not caring, and like that
Mm-hmm.
long-term effect. That's real. That's real.
Yeah, because I mean, there are definitely some careers where you're going to, there's more taxing to the body.
Hmm.
And we think about athletes,
Right.
right? We got the finals going on right now. They are doing a lot of wear and tear on their body. And we know that, right? And so they invest in the proper, whether it is, again, the proper
Right.
shoes, right? That's going to, help them carry out what they need to do, the proper equipment, right? Golfers have the right clubs and different things like
Hmm.
that. Swimmers have the right type of gears, the right goggles, the right
Exactly.
all of the things that the right swimsuits in order for them to have the right movement in the water and all of those things. And so
It's no
modeling is the
different.
same
Right.
thing. You have to invest in your career in knowing the things that you need to do. And so, because it is one of those careers where it could be taxing on your body,
Hmm.
like you said, heels, a lot of walking, a lot of practicing and things like that, you have to take care of, especially the body parts that you are
Yes,
using the most. The feet, the ankles, and all of those things are just a few.
definitely. I know one thing. I'm glad I have you as a guest today, because you're just dumping knowledge. Like, this is what I love. Like, partnering with others to impart their knowledge too. Because people say, okay, but she's a model. But yeah, well, here's a professional that has said it too. So if you don't want to hear me say it, here you go.
You go.
But actually,
Yes, if you want to be a professional in this thing, you have to take it
yes.
seriously and you have to put in the work that professionals do. And that's one of the things I think we don't really realize. We see professionals out there and we see people even in the forefront,
Hmm.
and we're like, oh, wow, that seems like, glamorous and all of these things. But there is a lot of hard work.
Yes.
There's some pain that goes into that. There are a lot of things that you have to count the
Hmm.
cost, right? Before you really get into it and really realize that this is the price that you're going to have to pay in order to be like successful in this particular area. So
Exactly.
again, taking care of the body is one of the things that you're going to have to do in order to even be a successful model. And we might think about things like weight, because that's a whole nother story, right? Because different models and different things like
Right.
that. But it really is about taking care of your body, because that's the tool that you're using in your
And that's all
career.
you have. All you have is one
That's
body.
all you
Yep.
have.
Exactly.
And one.
And I love it, because this is one of the things that I teach and I discuss within my online model coaching program too, is prepping for runway, really taking care of your body. And it's not just about, oh, putting on makeup and throwing on a dress and hitting the runway. No, there is more to it than just that. There's more to it, honey. Oh, setting this expectation for them now, it's like, hey, you see the done effect but there is some behind the scenes that you missed. So I love it. Um,
That part.
right. So what are some things that models can do to help prep with like their lower body, their ankles, their legs, and like some I mean, a lot of models, they are always hurry, hurry, wait. So we have half the day to just sit on our butt and we could be preparing to put them heels on. So what are some things that we can be doing?
Well, as one of my coaches used to say all the time, like stay ready
You don't
so
have
you
to
don't
get
have to get
ready.
ready. You don't have to get ready because you like already ready, right? And so there are exercise should always be, whether you're a model or anything, always be a part of your routine,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's not, and models might get a bad rep about, starving themselves or like doing like things that are extreme. But again, your body is what you use in order to have your career. So
Mm-hmm.
you need to take care of it. So things that you definitely should be doing is the proper exercise, right? Getting exercise in my opinion, at least 3 to 4 times per week. I do believe in rest days because, as you mentioned, some of the things that can be taxing on the body, even the feet, the heels, all the things that we've talked
Mm-hmm.
about. So you want to make sure that you do have some rest days from doing that. But there are certain exercises that you can do for the lower body, for the ankles, for the feet, all of that stretching
Mm-hmm.
is one of the things that you can do on like your days off, right? Making sure that your feet are
Yes.
stretched, right? You might see people kind of, even again, I'm kind of talking on the athletes where you may put your feet against the wall, right? And you're really kind of stretching your arch and all of those
Right.
things. You can do that at any time,
Anytime.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the ways that you can stay prepared. You can rotate your ankles,
Mm-hmm.
right? As you're sitting down, watching TV, right? You can wear ankle weights. That's going to
Mm.
help to, like, strengthen, your lower body as well. As we kind of get up, we can do calf raises and things like that that will help us. Then as we go kind of up more on the lower body, right, we can do squats. That's going to, help with our quads and our glutes and like all of those different things. So, okay.
Perfect.
So there's a number of different things that you can incorporate in your regular
Mm-hmm.
exercising, but on your days off, there are also some things that you can do to prevent injury, like from the stretching side as well, to stay ready and to make sure that again your muscles and things like that, your tendons are as loose and flexible as possible, so that when you get in high heels and things like that, your ankles, your support system, because
Yeah.
if you think about it, ankles are like weight bearing,
Mm-hmm.
right? All of your body, they need to be
Right.
supported through your ankles, and even as you like have them, again, I'm thinking of models that are in like 4-inch
Yeah.
heels and things like
Normally,
that.
yeah.
You have to be, yeah, you have to have that support. And so you may not even think about like, wow, my ankles need to be strengthened, but like, yes, it's the same way we may not think about our backs need to be strengthening and different things like that. So those muscles that are either like smaller or kind of forgotten about, we don't work them as
Mm-hmm.
much, but we can definitely be proactive and make sure that those things are taken care of as well, because that's part of, again, is what we use in order for our career, our profession.
Man, I'm like, you see me writing my air notes, like, yeah, I'm gonna rewatch this myself. Like, no, I love it. And so for me, you can always tell when the ankles are weak because they be looking like this and they be waving. They be over
Wobbling.
here like, oh, is she gonna fall or not? Ankles are like, hello. So we don't want that. So use all these tips, everybody. So make sure not just your lower body, like how she said, 3 or 4 times a week. I'm probably gonna need to increase my amount. So thank you for that. Okay. I think that slightly offended me a little because I didn't get it together. Okay, cool. But no, another point to mention is that you can't be out here in no cheap heels. So you can be out here exercising your body and things like that, but if you put on a cheap heel and you take a wrong step and that heel start to lean or even pop off,
Mm.
not cool. So actually, I had an experience, and no, my shoes weren't cheap at the time, but I had an experience when I when I was in New York. Um, it was I had maybe 1 minute to really get dressed, so I had people helping me get dressed, and somebody was fixing my shoe. And keep in mind, I had the shoes on to have like the ankle straps. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I have tiny ankles. They were over here trying to get it in the little hole. They didn't, and I had to walk.
Didn't.
I had to walk, and when I tell you, and these were some slick, shiny, hardwood, beautiful floors, and I had one shoe that was flopping. Literally, it went from the strap kind of being in there to not being in there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm you cannot miss this. Like, and I heard people talking like, oh, her shoe is off, her shoe is off. Guess who still killed it? Okay. I walk on my tippy toe like hello. So making sure that you wear the right heels to begin with and that they're on right will help too. But my favorite shoe for the runway is not strappy at all.
Not straight.
At all.
And that's key. And you being a coach, you can help people to prepare and know, like, what to do. I mean, obviously, if something like that happens, you pivot in the moment
Right.
and you work through it. But you think about when you said that about the strap, the thing that immediately came to my mind is like you're on a ride and the fastener comes loose.
Exactly.
You're like, oh my goodness, you're not insecure. And so that's part of the preparation,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you go into it being prepared, knowing that these are the proper shoes that I've been practicing in, I've been walking in, I've been doing the things beforehand,
Exactly.
the get ready piece. So, I mean, the stay ready
Stay
piece,
ready.
then you'll come into less of the issues once you like get out there. But having a proper coach and having a proper, as I mentioned, like a
Yes.
team, you might have to invest. Even though there's some designer shoes out there, you might have to invest again, working with a podiatrist or with somebody else with a lot of skill on the feet, something that is going to be specialized and customized to you for you to have the best performance
Exactly.
out there.
Exactly. And all shoes are not created equal, and all shoes are not created for every weight. That's what I have learned.
Mm,
And it may
yeah.
not be so much as weight because everybody's step is different. So like how you said about the
Yes.
podiatrist, somebody might walk more so on the outside of their foot, so then their heel may come inward, so it'll be easier for you to fall. You try to do that in a
Yeah.
stiletto, you're going to hit the floor, versus a little bit thicker. I'm not saying no wedge. Don't come to no runway in no wedge. Okay, I didn't say
Don't come with a
that. Don't
wedge.
come with no wedge. um but just knowing and trying on different shoes, go to the mall and try on different structured shoes, so you would know what is a better fit versus what may not be. So taking that time to invest if
Yes.
you really want to do modeling, or I mean, this is information that can be used for anybody, not just models.
General.
Exactly.
Right.
So
It is. But yeah, different people have arch levels. Some
mhm.
people have a lower
Or
arch. Some
flat
people have a
footed.
higher arch and flat foot. Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. And so all of those things are really important. And we've been working with ourselves. We know our
Right.
bodies, right, to a certain degree. But the thing that I don't want you to do is to
Yes.
compromise your feet, your like all of these parts of your body, um, when it can really be avoided. And this is something that you want to do long term
Hmm.
again as a career. So it's like get it right
Hmm.
initially and pivot like where you need to
Yeah.
because things could change, but I don't want you to compromise pain and suffering
Yeah.
in order to get somewhere when you can do it kind of the right way. I believe in smart cuts
Right.
and not
Oops,
shortcuts.
say it again. Say it again, huh?
Smart cuts, not shortcuts. Smart
I like
cuts.
it. I
Yes.
like it. No, that's real because it only takes one wrong move and you go from being in the zone on the runway to ankle messed up, and you may have messed up more than just your feelings. So
Mm.
yeah, so
Yeah,
smart cuts.
exactly. When you gave that example, I was like, it is really easy for your ankle to just go over on that foot, and you can like actually crack your ankle. You can break it, you can sprain it. There's a lot
Yeah.
of things that you could do. you can get off balance. I mean, you can fall. And again, like you said, not just your feelings hurt, something else can be hurt in your body. And again, we
Yeah,
can prevent that if we prepare properly.
that part. So that's, I know that has been all good for me. Like I'm loving all of this. But being that you are in wellness, share with us more about what you do to help out your clients.
Yeah. So a lot of what I do is based upon what I call the 3 M's, right? It's mindset, meals, and movement. Those are the things that, not M and M's, no, not two
Right.
M's, 3 M's, right? So it's really, again, like working on this up here, our mind, and renewing our minds. One, again, if we are going to, this is our profession, if this is our career, we have to have the proper like mindset for
Mm-hmm.
success. Now, I work with my clients, it's all biblically based, and we really get that because we really understand our identity. And
Absolutely.
I know for me, even having a traumatic experience as a 12-year-old, I had to shift some things and renew my mind to, what I thought. And I would say that modeling is definitely one of those careers where it could be tough, where you could be criticized. You're judged, right? You have judges the same way we do it in other, again, like sports, like gymnastics, and
Mm-hmm.
they're judged, right? So those things could really play with your mind,
Yeah.
and like you being good enough, or you didn't make this one, or you didn't get this cut. And so mindset is a huge part of what I work on with clients, because after it's like all said and done, you have to know and like have a confidence that you're worth it, and your identity.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's your identity in Christ. The second thing is like meals. You have to know what you're putting in your body, and that has to be important to you, because again, this is your
Yeah.
career. I'm going to go back to the athletes again. And I think it's really funny that, we have certain celebrity athletes out here, and they're promoting different things. And it's like Coca-Colas and this, whatever.
Exactly.
I'm going to drop some names out there. They're not drinking
They
that
are.
stuff,
Mm-hmm.
because that is not going to help their bodies
Mm-hmm.
perform in their profession,
Exactly.
right? We have to be mindful, not starving ourselves, but really putting foods in our bodies that's going to fuel our bodies, and that is not going to harm our
Mm-hmm.
bodies. Because again, like we said earlier, we only get one.
Mm-hmm.
And then movement, right? We should be moving our body, because anything that you don't move, or you keep in a
You
stagnated
lose.
place, it eventually, it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what happens to a car when you leave it and you haven't turned it
Yeah.
on in like 3 months or whatever?
Exactly.
So, those types of things we have to think about. And again, doing it because we're worth it,
Mm-hmm.
because we're valuable, because we care about ourselves. And we talk about self-care a lot. That seems like that's a little bit of a buzzword
Yeah.
these days, but really, movement is like self-care, because there are people actually that cannot move.
Yeah.
They don't have the ability to move. And I think it's like shame on us,
For not.
and we
Mm-hmm.
do, but we want to just sit down and like chill on the couch. And I'm not saying there's not a place for that, because I believe in rest
Yeah.
days, right? But again, it's like shame on us if we don't utilize what we've been given, what God has given us,
Mm-hmm.
because we're arrogant enough to think that our way is better. So if you don't use it, you lose
Mm-hmm.
it. We've all heard of that,
Exactly.
right? And again, this is going to be our career, our profession. We're
Mm-hmm.
professionals, then we have to do that. So those are a lot of the things that I work, the three main things that I work with my clients on, because again, I work with entrepreneurs, business owners, people that are like high achieving. And so it's like we have to be high achieving in this particular area
Exactly.
too, and really own.
I love that. And I know you mentioned a lot of things that I teach my clients and my students about in my online model coaching boot camp. And you mentioned value. Like, you are worth the investment. You are worth the investment to take care of your body. You are worth the investment to follow your dreams of pursuing modeling. You are worth the investment of taking the time to get your mind right. So, and also tapping into somebody that knows what they talking about, that does what they talking about, and that is open enough to help you do the things that you really want to do. So I mean, even though I'm still a model, I feel a calling over my life to feed more into other models too, because there's I didn't have this in my agenda to share, but I'm going to share it anyhow. When I was growing up, um, okay, Lord, when I was growing up, exactly, exactly. When I was growing up, I used to have seizures. And at one point in time, and it was my dad, my brother, and I. And I remember when I graduated from high school, he shared with me this story how the doctor told him that I wouldn't be able to use one part of my body, one half of my body. Like I would need to be cared for by somebody else. So for me to be able to walk and then have my walk on water stride, I have to give it back. So that's what I do within my online program is like you get a ton of wealth knowledge and then some because I'm the plug. So but just to be able to like how you said about the movement, get up and move, get up, get a hula hoop, get a basketball, go for a walk, walk around Walmart three, four
Yes,
times. Like
yes.
so
I don't care if you walk. I mean, when these in these streets, when whatever happened a couple years ago, I'm like, I don't care if you walk up and down your hallway.
exactly.
I don't care if you walk up and down your steps because they told us we can't go
Right.
outside. You cannot stop
Yeah.
moving. You just can't. I mean, I don't care if we gotta. So I started teaching people
Mm-hmm.
online how to use things around your house, how to use this chair that I'm sitting in to do push-ups, to
Right.
do dips, to do, tricep dips, or let's go back old school gym class, right? Jumping jacks. Ain't
Exactly.
jumping jack ain't never hurt
Right.
nobody. Jump rope, like you said.
Yeah.
If you don't have a hula hoop, but jump rope.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? If you don't have a jump rope, you don't need one. You can do
The
an
little air
invisible jump
one.
rope. Like, but
Yes.
yes, but we have to keep
Yes.
moving, and it's all about like staying out of the excuse zone.
Mm-hmm.
No excuses. I'm
None.
like, grab some water bottles, grab some. I mean, I showed you how to like, do jumps over your Swiffer.
Okay.
How
I
to
like
grab
that.
some like whatever it is you need to do. Your step stool, get you some steps, and like whatever it is that you have to, your dining room table, your kitchen
Mm-hmm.
counter to get your push-ups in, whatever it is, move your body and keep building up those muscles.
Exactly.
That is going to help you. It is never going to hurt you. It's like in school, right? You get up there to that A, it be like hard getting up there to that A, but it's real
It's a
easy to
fall
like
down.
come down.
Right.
So we have to like stay in there, stay in there, stay in there, because we will like lose
Mm-hmm.
momentum and we will revert, and we're worth it.
Yes.
So it's like, why not do this for the long
Right.
haul? Because we're worth it.
Exactly. I love it. So no excuses, only results. That's one thing I say when I'm dealing with my clients. Like, no excuses. Let's go ahead and get you the transformation you came to me for so I can be proud and you can be happy. Okay?
Yes. You can have one or the other, but you can't have both.
Right. Yep. And you're worth it. So do it. Like, I am just grateful because somebody else didn't make it, but you did, I did. So let's make use of it. So,
Let's make use of
yes. Well, we're almost done here. So, how would you recommend what's one thing that you'll recommend for recovery? Let's say a model has been in shoes all day, or not even a model, just somebody has been in shoes all day. What is one good thing they can do for recovery?
Sit down. No, I'm
Sit
kidding.
down somewhere, take your shoes off.
Sit down somewhere. No, kick your feet up again. I do believe in rest days. And if you like have the ability not to go like back to back, like days in a row. Now there will be times that you have to do that. But if you have an opportunity to give a break in between, I would definitely say do that and stay off your feet again as much, as possible if you have been taxing them
Yeah,
for quite some time. You see again, like I keep using the example of athletes because I'm likening models to
yeah,
athletes. I feel like they're athletes, right?
definitely.
They take ice baths and things like that in order for their muscles to recover. Stretching
Hmm.
again, like I say, you can do some of those stretches on your off days, ankle rotations and different things like that. But let them rest as much as possible. I would say keep them up. Definitely if you're just kind of hanging out on the couch or, something like that. It's less, walking as you're doing, and
Hmm.
definitely in comfortable shoes on those off
Right.
days that are really going to support you, because having a good supportive shoe is going to be
Hmm.
critical, whether you're in heels, they should be good and supportive, or whether you're in regular shoes outside. It's like, because you're, again, that's an asset that you're
Hmm.
using, you have to protect
Yes.
it. And so I think it is, to me, and I know this is probably a tough balance, but a coach like Brickell will help you of being cute and comfortable versus being cute and
Mm.
reckless.
That
So,
right there.
um, it's like not just being cute for the sake of being cute, it's for getting the job
Exactly.
done. Um, but at the same time, it's also, you have to protect the asset that you're using as your profession. And I cannot stress that
Hmm.
enough.
Exactly. Well, I think that is awesome. And a couple, if you are unable to get a podiatrist or just something quick for the moment and you're about to be in heels tomorrow, you can go and get some inserts. You can get the full length ones. You can get the ones that are just for the ball of your foot. You can even, if your shoes are a little loose in the back, get the
On the back that you can tape it. Yeah.
shoe grippers so you're not living in
On the
sliding
bottom of.
everywhere. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, if you have enjoyed this episode of Slightly Offended Fridays, there is more where that came from. If you're interested in becoming a model, if you have no clue where to start, or if you just want to learn how to book more modeling gigs, and you can go right now to my site, www.workwithbrickell.com. And I look forward to bringing you guys more professionals to help guide you along the way as well. And not just only for models, but just in life in general. Um, so be sure to follow me, of course, on here, but on Instagram at That's Brickell, on YouTube, That's Brickell, basically everywhere. Okay. And April, let everybody know where they can follow you and if you have anything else coming up that they can be a part of.
Yeah, so we've talked about this a little bit. This is I wanted to read something
Yeah.
quickly from my book because we talked about you being worth it. So um I wanted to so this is about a story of someone in, my book. So we're gonna call him Joe,
Okay.
right? Joe would say things to me like, "I bet if you train now, you could try out for the WNBA." I used to play basketball in high school, you guys.
Okay.
So I wasn't really that good, but I'm just saying. But anyway, Joe would encourage me, and he would be like, "If you trained, I bet you could be in the NBA." And I would say, "Ha ha ha! No, I was a scrub in high school. I remember I was on the freshman B team. I didn't play with my senior year in college. However, beyond the flattery, Joe encouraged me so much in a way that in the back of my mind, I really wondered if he could be right." So if Brickell, if like somebody else in your life is encouraging you that you could do this, especially this modeling career, go for
Go.
it. Don't let the voice in your mind tell you that you cannot
Okay.
do it. Don't listen to that voice. Silence the enemy's voice and go for it. No matter how many times you fall, I was on the freshman B team, right? No matter how many times like you did not make it, like keep going for it and keep going for it and shut that voice down because you're worth it. So if you would like to connect with me, I do work with models who are entrepreneurs or any entrepreneur or business owner, and help you, again, like love your body, right? Lose weight, loveyourbody.com. Lose weight, loveyourbody.com is how you can get with me. If your goal is not to lose weight, that's okay too, but you just want to, make sure that you're staying healthy and strengthened and, like having a group accountability, stuff like that. Still go through there. I give some amazing tips at that particular. I have a free video for you. And anywhere on Instagram, you'll find me anywhere on social media, you'll find me as Kingdom Power Living Coach April. So thank you so much. It's
Yes.
been amazing chatting with you and your community. I love what you're doing and I love everything that you stand for,
Thank
how you're
you.
pouring into models and people that really want to do this as a profession and really like crush it and show like the world like otherwise, not in a vain
Mhm.
way, but really in this is my profession. So
Right.
I just
Well,
love that.
thank you. And I'm glad to have you on. You've been amazing, poured out awesome information. So I hope you guys took your notes. You can watch this video again if you were driving or if your pencil broke. Get these notes, okay? But yeah, so thank you, and see you guys next week on Slightly Offended Friday.